artists behind the epic melodies, songs, and beats. Celebrating the best new music from around the world. This is the A State of Trance podcast.
Hey, what's up? My name is Ruben Ronde and welcome to a new A State of Trance podcast. And we have someone in the studio today that is, quite recently just broke through into the music industry. Matty Ralph, how are you doing?
Hello, Ruben. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Doing really well. Buzzing to be here.
Yeah, I've been very much looking forward to this conversation because most of the times when we have people here for the podcast, they have like a career of 10, 15, 20 years already. Mm-hmm. But you're fairly new into the scene.
Yeah. I've been DJing about 7 years now, but I started to learn production about 4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
But I never released anything for the first 2 years because I was never happy with the quality. But the last 2 years I've started to be releasing more now and starting to pay off.
All right, so let's go back because I always like to go back into time for these podcasts and to see where your story started. Because you already mentioned a little bit on the episode that you grew up listening to trance music, to, for example, Casey, Love Simulation.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Tell us about the first time that you fell in love with dance music.
It was definitely around the age of like 17, 18 when I was old enough to go to raves and events back in Northern Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to my first ever trance event when I was about 18 with my best mates and like just fell in love with the sound at the time, and it was just timeless and like just brought us closer together and started going to them raves like for the next like 10 years.
Do you still remember which party it was, the first one you went to?
But first event would have been actually like a festival actually in Northern Ireland. It was actually to see Avicii when I was 17.
Okay.
And he was like a king at the time. And I was about 17. It was in Belfast, big festival. And I think my first actual rave would have been like in Kelly's, Portrush, Northern Ireland. I was about 18.
Legendary club.
I think Dash Berlin was playing that night. It was for my 18th birthday. So that was when I first seen trance music.
Yeah. So before that, you were also listening to it on radio, or?
Oh yeah, well, my older brother always loved trance growing up, and it was his thing to listen to. Like, and when I was really I was exposed to it really young by him.
Yeah.
So that's why I love like the older classic stuff.
He was listening to sets or to the radio or
everything. Like he was very Paul van Dyk obsessed, and it was just all I heard in the house when I was like 4.
Yeah. What a side question? What does he think of your music right now? Or
he loves it. Like he's loving that classic sound I'm making at the minute. Like he's very proud.
A lot of nostalgia going on, I guess.
Yeah.
So you started going to parties, you were listening to music, and then the next step for you was like, hey, I want to be on that stage.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I guess it was down to curiosity, you know. So like when I was like going to these events and stuff, I used to think to myself like, what's it like to be on the other side, you know? And the curiosity kind of killed me. I remember like I went to university in Liverpool back in 2015, and in the first year, like I just spent a lot of my spare time listening to like live sets and like headphones just in the spare time.
Yeah.
And Brian Carney used to love listening to his live sets then, and it was like the first time I could really hear like crowd audio getting dubbed into the sounds, and you could. I remember, and I can remember listening to like a set he'd done Dublin was on his SoundCloud, and just like the crowd roar after every drop, and I'd be sitting in my uni room just like, wow, this is unreal. What's it like to be the guy?
Goosebumps.
Yeah. Honestly, I was just sitting there getting like hair standing on my arms.
Like, you're like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, there's another funny story as well. So like, I remember we used to have a lot of house parties and stuff in the first year of uni, and I remember it was like 4 a.m, and we were in a kitchen having an after party, and I remember like having a laptop on with like just 2 YouTube windows, and this ran.
That was mixing.
I wasn't even trying to be a DJ. I was just like, I felt under pressure. I was like, I'm in control of the tunes here. I need to get one YouTube window up and locked and ready. It was almost like queuing a track, but with an ad. When an ad came up, it was like, game over. Party killed. Like, it's like everyone's having a good time. Do you want home insurance? You know what I mean?
Try the new nachos.
Some guy just came up to me and goes, are you a DJ? And I was like, no.
Yes.
But at the time, I was like, see, I hadn't actually bought decks at this point though. And I was like, yeah, maybe I could be, you know? So, and then I remember then I worked in a bar in Liverpool in my first year and literally saved up every single penny I had and bought like a pair of tractor decks, like an all-one thing. It's like £650. And at the time, like people tend to go like, oh, you're crazy, you're mad. And I was like, I spent all me fucking...
You could have bought all these beers for that money now.
Yeah. Yeah, but listen, I was obsessed, like, and I wanted to get decks, and that bundle came up. It's like £650. Tractor S4 MK2 mixer with 2 Rocket speakers and a pair of headphones, and then just ate very little in it over the next 2 weeks. Then
That's how it started.
no grocery shopping was done.
We're just doing mixes the whole day through.
Yeah, just got obsessed with it then. And obviously, the longer you do it, the more you stick to it. Just the curiosity keeps getting stronger and stronger over the years.
Yeah. So you started practicing, probably bullying your roommates with music 24/7.
They weren't really pleased. But to be fair, like I got the decks towards the end of like the first year, so a lot of them were gone at that point.
Yeah.
So I had to flat to myself for a bit. So it was perfect.
Loud volume the whole day through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How long did it take you from that moment to get you to land your first gig?
I actually started promoting myself.
Yeah.
So like doing events, because it's like, if no one's going to book you, you've got to book yourself.
Yeah.
So I started doing events in Liverpool for a couple of years, and then moved back during COVID, done a few more, and then just, production was kind of the next thing. Like, because DJing can only take you so far these days.
Yeah.
You have to have your own identity with your tunes and stuff.
Yeah. Because that's how you reach people when you're not at a party.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can make CDs with mixes on it, but who's going to listen to that nowadays anymore?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's very true. So before that, because I think we are around 2000, well, you're already saying COVID, so 2020. But I have to jump back a little bit because I dove into your Instagram. I always love to do some research on the people that are coming, especially because we never met before for this episode. And then I saw you at A State of Trance in 2017, 18, 19.
Yeah, so
what has been the fascination with A State of Trance throughout the years?
So one of my older friends at the time was going religiously back in 2017, 16 times, and he was just like, you need to go to this. It's like, if you love trance, it's like next level.
Yeah.
The pinnacle, like the production, everything blew your mind. And I was like, right. So just booked it, me and my best mate. And I remember walking into Jarber's at the time it was at, and just seeing the production in that main room. And I was like, wow, this is like unbelievable.
Yeah.
I remember like Alien Field was playing in that main room that year, and it was crazy. And Armin done his vinyl set at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and still to this day, like the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen. Like class, like just nostalgic rave and classics at that time in the morning, just when you're finding it hard to get through, and then that comes on, takes you. It was honestly like it was unreal. And then I was like, right, I have to keep coming back here. And then not intentionally, like it was just like, oh, I want to go back and do that again. And then every year just became a ritual.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I actually I was that guy that then started bringing people from back home that haven't been before, and then now they love it. Yeah. It was like a rep basically.
So you were promoting our event in the UK.
Yes. I'm still waiting on my commission.
Well, here you go. We still have to pay you a few bucks then, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it doesn't really happen. That's why I said it earlier as well. It doesn't really happen a lot that we get people here that went through that stage, actually buying tickets, buying flights, buying hotels, transport, whatever, to come to an event like this. And I always find it so fascinating to see an event like that through the eyes of yourself, for example.
Yeah.
No, the whole anticipation to go to an event. And
yeah, I just loved it. And I'll still go to it until at least I'm not fit to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during that time you were already DJing, but you were not making music yet. So
no.
What was the moment that you decided, okay, DJing is going to take me this far? I go to all these events, because you also went to Digital Society, you went to Cream, you went to Ibiza, Future Sound of Egypt. I saw all these events coming by. What took you to the next level that you were like, okay, I need to start making music as well?
COVID, when it kicked off, I seen it as an opportunity and stuff. So I had a lot of spare time, and I was like, right, this is the perfect time to start sort of learning production. And then like just locked myself. And my dad used to be like a country singer, funny enough.
Yeah.
And he had a wee studio outside his house.
So there's some musical genes in there.
Yeah. Maybe. I never took to the country stuff. Wasn't my thing, but I guess there's some musical stuff going on there in the family. But he had like a wee studio outside his house, and I used to just bring my laptop out and just like sitting there for hours, just learning stuff, watching tutorials online, loads of stuff. And then first 2 years didn't really want to put anything out, because I realized, because for DJing so long, like I'm like, I know what works and what doesn't, but I didn't want to put, like, say I started working on a new project at that time, I didn't want to put it up on SoundCloud in case it wasn't great, and I knew it wasn't going to be great. So until I got the quality knuckled down, then I was like, right, I'm going to start pitching tracks out, releasing stuff.
Yeah. And one of the funny posts that I saw before you ever had a release is a post that you posted up, that you did a remix for John O'Callaghan and Mannix, Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
And the caption says, Armada doesn't sign any new versions at the moment, so here it is on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Which A&R did you send it to?
I can't even
James?
remember. Must have been.
Was it you, James? James is here. Huh? You did sign it in the end. It's not released yet.
It's in the vault.
Just sitting on it.
It's on the vault.
Oh, when I saw that coming, I was like, hey, I've been in that situation as well, because I remember making music like full all the time and sending stuff to Armada, and everything got rejected, and still you have to deal with that as well, the disappointment, right?
It's part of it, man. It makes you hungrier, if anything. Like, that's the one thing about this game. Like, you have to be willing to roll with the swings and punches, like, because you will get punched a lot, like.
Yeah. But some people get discouraged and take it a different way.
No, you should never do that. Like, as long as you remember, like, your why you initially want to do this in the first place, like, that nothing else will come in between that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there it was in 2022. Your first release was, correct me if I'm wrong, Omnius.
Yes.
On No Remorse and Equilibrium. I hate that word. Equilibrium. Try to spell it as well. Triple word value in word void. So how long did it take you before you were actually at that point that you wanted to release these tunes and get them signed from let's say from the start of making music?
So I officially started trying to make music around like January 2020. So I would say like 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that time you were just
constantly making projects. Like, honestly, there's just my old MacBooks just probably filled with old projects. Like, and I just felt like I wasn't ready to release when I didn't feel like the quality was good at the time. So I just spent most of that time working on my craft, going through all the rejections. I was still sending tracks to labels, like, obviously.
Yeah.
But I was still getting the same email back, like, nah, it's not strong enough or whatever. But you just have to keep grinding at it, like.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's the hardest part of being a young producer as well. But what I would like to know, because like I said, we talk a lot with people that are in this scene for 20 or 10 or let's say 5 or even more years. We never really had an artist like yourself in the studio yet that's just breaking through at this moment, because it must be totally different than it was, like, let's say 5 or 10 years ago to break through. What was for you the key moment that you were like, okay, now it's going somewhere? Or what did you do?
It's just whenever I started seeing like the bigger DJs starting to play my tracks, that's the factor that I knew that it was improving, and that's when I knew that I was getting better at doing this.
Yeah.
So like when you see like the bigger DJs playing your music, like that's a massive indicator that you can also be in their shoes.
Yeah. So, and how did you decide how did you get the music in their hands? And was it original tracks, or was it in this case Consciousness? Maybe was one of the first, I guess.
Probably just a mixture of both, man. Like I would just a lot would just look at their SoundCloud DMs and stuff, and like with Hannah, for example, like she's been religiously playing my music for like the last year and a half, like, and obviously she's got a big fan base, like, so that's given me good exposure too, and she always loves my music.
Yeah.
So if you can get like the big DJs playing music, like that should be an indicator for you that you're.
But it's really, really hard to get the music in their hands.
It can be, like, it takes a bit of luck, to be honest with you, unless you know somebody that knows them or something. But a lot of them do actually just check their SoundCloud DMs these days, like, because they're always looking for music for their own sets, play at different gigs and stuff.
Was it for you the first to start with making bootlegs or remixes of songs that people know already? Yeah,
well, I think my advice would be for people to do that, because if you're like a new producer, people just subconsciously don't have that faith in you at that moment in time. So if you're making if you make like a good remix or a good bootleg or something, and it's good, then people they'll be more inclined to listen to it first.
Yeah.
Because
the original is already good. Let's see what he did.
So like it's good to do some bootlegs, and it helps you make better music anyway. It helps you understand the structure of other tracks as well. So when you're doing these remixes and like people start to get on you, then when you put an original out in between that, then they might have a bit more faith in you and take a chance on you.
Yeah. Is it harder then to make original songs in between all these bootlegs, or because you see more traction and success on a bootleg than the original? It just
depends, I think, like if you do it justice or not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bootlegs that just don't work, and there's a lot that it's like, oh yeah, this really does add to the original, and that's all you can do with them. Like as long as you're adding, and making it fit for your set.
And you make these bootlegs first of all for your own sets, and then you'll send them out to other people.
Yeah, 100%. I always have to test it myself, because if I didn't like it in a club, then I was like, can't send that out if it's not 100%.
How many versions do you make of a track before you send it out to someone?
No more, just a couple, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would stick. I would usually have a theme and just stick to it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, the first couple of tunes that you created were more like, how would you say, like hard trance or hard techno kind of songs. For example, the collabs you did with Chugs here in the studio as well. Decimate and Enter Oblivion. Those were released in 2023.
Yeah.
And then My Loving was actually the first tune, I guess, that was more the 90s vibe. Well, you also made a version or a track with Chloe K.
Yes. Couldn't get that signed.
Wish You Were. Actually, there was a song that Chugs played in his set I saw on there as well. So maybe you could join for a second. Yeah, Chugs is here in the studio as well. He just had a really nice bagel and some cinnamon roll. So here, just grab that one over there. Yeah, so Chugs, first of all, welcome.
Hello.
I think we have to get you on a guest mix here soon as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
Will be nice.
Be a pleasure.
So you were one of the first people that started believing in Matty's music.
Yeah.
Tell us how did you come across him?
Well, the funny story how we actually first met. Matty touched on there before that he used to do events.
Yeah.
He actually booked me for an event to play in Liverpool, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he booked me for an event in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And come over and played, and then just stayed friends from that. Kept in contact.
Yeah.
Worked on some music together, and then just became really close from it.
Yeah, you started playing his remix for Consciousness, and like I said, the tune "Wish You Were."
Wish You Were Here.
Yeah, "Wish You Were Here" with Chloe K.
Yeah.
You were, I guess, one of the first ones that started to jump on his sound, but also the old school sound again. Why did you pivot into that direction? Was it something
Just man, it's like
visionary or?
Nah, just I think like the general scene in itself was like getting a little bit oversaturated.
Yeah.
And as he said, like the old sounds, the nostalgic sounds, that's what it's all about. Like we both grew up with that sound. So just to kind of like go that way, try something a little bit different. It's never gonna do any harm to try anything different. Luckily now it's just taken off a bit more.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that, like
a lot more.
And more coming, yeah.
And how did your collaborations come about? Decimate and Enter Oblivion.
We just spoke about maybe just starting one, like, and wanted to do something quite hard. And we done Decimate, we actually were a good story with it too. We were in Telegraph, we were in the Telegraph. It was a Teletrack night. 9x9 were playing. Who else was playing?
Charlie Sparks. I think they were the two headliners.
Yeah, it was hard hitting music.
Yeah. We like that sound too, like. And we went that as ravers just on the dance floor, and we sent the tune.
It was more like an experiment.
We made the tune to see if we could get support on it. And we sent it to, was it 9x9 that played it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they played it at the gig. Yeah. And we were on the dance floor together.
Oh, you were on the dance floor?
Yeah, we were there together, yeah.
How was that experience?
It was amazing class, but the funny thing was, he had made a couple of other ones that he had sent to 9x9 as well. Yeah. And it was coming in, and I was telling all our friends, I was like, that's Matty's tune coming in, but it was ours. So I was a little bit pissed off and didn't realise that it was actually our collab, but I was telling everyone that it was his tune. Yeah. And then when I kicked in, I was like, hold on, it's ours.
But at that moment, you experienced that feeling like a million times already.
Yeah. Class, yeah. But it was a new sound. Obviously, we hadn't made a lot of that music before. And it was in Belfast with him, so it was a little bit different. Like, cool.
The funny thing is though, like, because I released, I think at that time around that night, a 2-track hard techno EP on DSR digital.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I remember sending it to all the ones on the lineup basically that night, but I didn't expect. I don't think I sent them the actual collab, so they obviously just dug it out themselves, which was more surprising. Like,
so, which is even more rewarding, I guess.
Yeah, it was class.
Yeah,
because
I seen TikToks of them playing it as well, like across Europe and stuff as well. So they really loved it. Like,
yeah. Did you do normal?
Yeah. Go back to that sound for a while.
And like I said, when you started working together, you only released like 2 or 3 tracks. Then you started working together, and so that means that you're seeing the whole journey right now.
100%. Yeah.
How does it make you feel to see that?
It's
he's
good, mate. Like I've
like
given Matty a little bits of help and tip and stuff like that, but he's always like, he just takes everything on board, man. Yeah. And like, as you said, there are like 2 years to get where he's at now. It's crazy, man. Yeah. Like you don't really see people pick it up that quickly.
It took me like 7 years to get something.
Yeah, me too, mate. Like it used to take me like months. You can write a track in like a week and it's like done, ready to go. He'd send me it over, I'd listen to it. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. Like I used to sit on my music a lot. Like it was a lot different back then. My approach was a lot different. Used to like kind of overproduce my stuff in a sense, have a load of different versions. Actually inspires me to just get it done and be happy with it and get it out. Like he just turns them out like a conveyor belt. So yeah,
is it like a different approach to music of a new generation, maybe?
Yeah, hopefully, like it's that's always going to be a better thing to do as well. Get your music out quickly and write music quickly because obviously it's going to be more music. I think like sitting over your stuff for too long. We all have it. Like you do it sometimes. You believe in like a big track, but I think with a sound as well, it's not simpler to make. Yeah, it's not like it requires too much. You just need to like get in, get a good theme, as he says, a good idea. Just get it done and get it
music for the dance floor.
Yeah, 100%.
So people are just with a smile on the dance floor.
100%.
Yeah.
There is.
I think it's sorry.
There is actually something that I love to add. I have actually revealed this publicly before, like, but like in March 2023, like I walked away from my job full time.
Yeah.
And just to create music full time, I was like, my music's getting played by such and such DJ at the time. And I was like, right, well, what if you just walked away from this job and treated it like a 9 to 5?
Yeah.
So like at that time, I was like, right, I have to do this, like, because it's something in my mind that for like a year now, I've just done it, just locked the decision in, didn't think about it too much.
Yeah.
And since then, like, I've just been making tunes like every day, all day, treating it like a 9 to 5. Because when I seen the bigger DJs playing the time, I was like, right, you're doing this like basically part time. So what if you done this full time? Like, take the risk, go for it, like. And that's what I've done, like.
I think that's one of the bravest decisions you can make.
Honestly, like, it was a hard decision, but the best decision. Yeah. And look, it's not like it's not easy, like, because you're now relying on your creative brain to generate income and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was what took me, I think, to the next level. The fact I was able to then just focus on music 100% of the time.
Yeah, I think I know a lot of aspiring producers and DJs are listening to this show, and then most of the times people have like a similar kind of story, because at a certain point you have to make a decision. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to leave my job behind or whatever that you're doing and focus full time on the music, which is scary because
big time. It still is.
Because then you put pressure on your shoulders. Okay, this needs to happen now. But what I always say, what is the worst that can happen?
That's it.
Like you can still get make sure that you can take the financial pressure off your back for at least 3 or 4 months, let's say, so you can pay your bills, so you don't get into stress not being able to pay the bills. But there's always a job that you can pick up again at a certain point, or do like a part-time job and make music part-time as well. So just do it. Just do it. If you believe in yourself and you have the talent and you believe that you can do it. You can do it. The worst that can happen, you can fall on your face, you get up and you do something else.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, I just walked away from it and fully bet on myself. Yeah. I didn't really want to tell too many people about it, because you know what outside energy can be like and stuff. Yeah. Like some people being like, "Oh, you're making." Yeah, like, no. And
he's gonna be a DJ.
And then it puts more pressure on yourself. So I was like, I'm just gonna let only my close friends know, but because it mightn't even work out at that point, so it could be for nothing. But you have everything to gain with it, like. Yeah. And if you just bet on yourself and just keep showing up every day, it can't not work out for you, like.
Yeah. Hard work.
Hard work
beats talent.
Hard work beats 100%. That's very, very true. Yep. And also, you also want to be sure that when you're 50 years old, you don't want to look back.
That's it. You don't want to regret.
You don't want the regrets.
Scariest thing in the world, man. That's it for me. Like, regret, life of regret, not taking the plunge, not going for it. That puts more fear in me than anything. Like, what if I did? Do you know what I mean? No what ifs. Go for it. Like,
so maybe
what's the worst that can happen?
Just by saying this, maybe we inspired 1 or 2 people to take the plunge, and then our mission is complete already. Yeah. I guess so.
If I can inspire one person to do what I done, like, then I'm happy enough. You know what I mean?
That's all you need. What I'm wondering, because that's what I love as well, is that Shucks, you're here to support Matty here, and that's what I love as well, because most of the times, as an artist, you're by yourself, but you guys are supporting each other.
You need help sometimes, man. You do need help, like. And in fact, like, one thing for me, I do like to help a lot of people. If I'm ever in a position to help someone, I'll do it. Like, do you mean why not?
Yeah,
like, there's room for everybody. Like, help out. Like,
the world would be such a better place if everybody thought that way. But even like in the music scene too, like, it's only going to get stronger. Like, if he's obviously always going to have that opinion now, because he's had help from other people. He's going to help people. He's going to be in a position. It's going to be a knock-on effect. Yeah, the scene's just going to be a better place if people just help each other. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like, just help out. I think it makes you feel good too. We should frame this. We should capture this, put this online, and for people to see, because it's true. Like, if you help other people and you step away from, because this scene is full of jealousy as well, and why him and not me?
Yep.
If you help each other, there's room. Like, especially if you're a good person and you make good music, then there's always space for you at a certain point. Yeah. Well, thank you for giving the insights, man. Yeah, 100%.
No problem at all. Leave you to it.
Yeah, like I said, My Loving was the first kind of 90s sound as well, which you took after the harder hitting, hard techno, hard house. Why did you decide to continue on that path? Because you were a fan of already trance, like, for so many years, and then you decided to go a little bit more nostalgic.
I think if I could describe the ideal career situation in terms of music, would be just to be a DJ that can play whatever you want, but make harmonical sense. Yeah. So not only that, like, I actually just love making other different sounds, because I would get bored very easily of making the same thing over and over again. Yeah. So I love switching the sound up now and again. And it's anything that can refer to like 90s nostalgic rave. Like I'm all for it. Like it's the best energy for me. It's the best emotion of the track. I just love everything about that era. And like I said earlier, like I don't know why that went away.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting because what you say is that the open format DJing is very much welcome nowadays. Because I think if you look back, let's say 10 years ago, everything was pigeonholed. You know,
yes,
like
yes, that's a
can
fear for me. Like I don't want to be pigeonholed into one thing. Like as long as I can make harmonical sense and just put on a good set for people, like that's the way it was. I think in the 90s, like people just paid tickets to this DJ because he put on a great set.
Yeah,
it wasn't like, oh, he plays this certain sound or whatever. He just put on a great set. Like, and
that's what I find interesting, because when you listen back to all these live sets of, say, Tiesto, but also Armin from, let's say, 2001, 2002, Marco V and all those guys, they were all playing everything, like different genres and different, everything was just...
Nobody questioned it. They just enjoyed it.
They just enjoyed it. And they weren't like, okay, this is not this, or this, whatever. And I think it's really cool that the new generation of artists, but also the new generation of fans is just embracing the open format thing.
Yeah.
You can go to a party and hear all kinds of different things in one set. And it goes off.
I think it's just really refreshing. Like, and obviously, as a raver, like I've been to loads of trance raves, I've been to loads of techno raves, I've been to loads of different raves, and I've enjoyed most of them. You know what I mean? And like I can be inspired very easily. Like, I actually remember going to Sonas Festival like a couple of summers ago.
Yeah.
In Croatia, and I seen Stephen Bodson for the first time. And wow, like just
KC.
I
found out about it.
Yeah. Insane. I can't believe I didn't know that. But just the musical journey took me on. Like, and he plays a set around like 126 BPM. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not even about BPM or such or anything. It's like, can this guy put on a good musical journey?
It's melodic. Everything's in key.
It's beautiful.
Spacious, insane sound design, 100%. Well, the open format kind of continues in 2023 when you had No Whistle, No Party. That was something totally different again. It's also almost like a DJ Alligator. Was it Blow My Whistle?
So,
and like
it's a crazy story behind that one actually. So start of last year, I made like a hard edit of the Whistle song by DJ Alligator.
Yeah,
and it was actually one of my good mates.
Oh, it was actually inspired on that one. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
Well, not totally, just the Whistle, but
I
used to love playing it anyway, and a couple of big DJs started playing too. And then my mate says to me one time, he's like, the Whistle really gets the party going, doesn't it? Like, and I was like, absolutely, just full of energy. And I remember just had this idea in my head for, like, see my iPhone notes, honestly, that's my biggest ally. Like, it's just if I get an idea straight in, or a voice note, something silly, that's where most of my ideas come from. And I remember just thinking, like, I'd love to have my own kind of like banging whistle track. You know what I mean? And then I even had I could actually hear the first few elements in my head. So it was like that whistle sequence. And then I was like, right, I want like a hard trance womp bass. Yeah, on the drop. And then the other element I had in my head was like this vocals fill from somewhere. I used to be like a tech house DJ when I was a student in Liverpool years ago, and see all them like old tech house tracks. They had like loads of really cool, like quirky vocal fills and that kind of thing. And there was just one in my head. I was like, and it goes a little something like this. And I was like, where is that from? And I like loaded up my old laptop from the uni days and just had to find that track, and I found it. And then I just basically extracted it. So that was like the first few elements was like that wee whistle sequence, and then and it goes a little something like this. And like, wow, I made the track. I like started at 9 in the morning, and then 11 at night, I'd say at 90% I was done. Just started working backwards then.
Yeah.
And then when I got that vocal fill, it was originally from Run DMC. It's like that.
It's like that is the way it is.
Yeah. And then when I was extracting the vocal, I randomly came across like another part of the Vox in it, which was like that MC. It's Run DMC and Jam Nest. And I was like, that needs to go in. It just added so much old school energy, man. And it just went straight in. That track literally like just read itself in a day. Like, and then it originally started out to be a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Like I sent it out to Hannah Ling, and like straight away she was sending me an email, oh my God, this is brilliant, going to play this. And then a few other DJs like David Rust and Chug started playing it out, and
Charlie Sparks.
Yeah. I'd never seen a track get like played across like the trance scene and the hard techno scene and all. And it just, Patrick Mason started playing it. The support list was crazy. And I just can't believe how well that tune done. Still playing my sets all the time.
I guess that proves that having fun in the studio is the best thing you can do.
Yeah, like honestly, and like there's no boundaries at all in that track. Like, you know, people could probably argue, what is this? Is it hard trance? Is it hard techno? It's just fun, roll into one. Like, you know, it's banging. That's it. Like,
I guess 90s Baby could be seen as a follow-up for that one.
That's literally what it was. So
yeah.
I remember going to a festival in Dublin. My friend was playing that like the week after I made No Whistling No Party. And I was just like, I just had another idea, like, because I've made something that style. I was like, oh, the ideas are flowing now for something similar.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, down in someone played like the house version of it, just the normal version. I can't remember the original artist. And I was like, oh, that vocal's unreal. Like, that could be used as like maybe a follow-up. And then as soon as I got home, just made like the follow-up to it like instantly. And yeah, it goes off as well. Similar vibe.
Yeah, but I guess it's another fun kind of track.
Yeah, just like whistles, man. They're so fun to work with. Like, and again, they're very 90s-esque, which I love, and like they just add so much energy. Like, you know, you can't hate them. Like,
no, you're absolutely right.
Can't throw energy.
Yeah. Then 2024 came along, and that's the first time that for you came on my radar, because before that I didn't really hear anything of your stuff. Because James, he's here in the studio as well. I'm not sure if should we get him on the microphone as well?
Of course.
I might as well.
Come
James. Come on, Jamesy. He has done this a few times already. So if you're listening to the State of Trance podcast more often, then you know that James, the A&R of Armada Music from the UK as well, has told a few stories here as well. Because sometimes it happens that doesn't really happen too much, that we bounce tracks to each other, and especially about you, he was like, I have this new guy. I got a few demos. Well, you tell it how it went.
Yeah, so I think I started following Matty on Instagram after seeing No Whistle No Party, like, you know, Patrick Mason doing his amazing
dancing and whatnot.
And then obviously he starts posting tracks that he's making in the studio, and I think one of them was Dreaming, and I was like, whoa, I was like straight in the DM, sliding in, like, this is, you know, this is amazing. This is quality stuff.
So the track was already made, and then you contacted him through Instagram to...
Yeah.
So normally it's the other way around, that artists send DMs to A&Rs, but this is the other way around.
I was like, whoa, this track is good. And then obviously Ben Hemsley starts playing it, and you know, obviously that's a stamp of approval if someone like Ben Hemsley starts playing it. So and I knew he had some good music there. So yeah, and it's quite interesting because at the start of the year in the UK office, we had a little internal, you know, who's going to pop in 2024, you know, who's your one to watch and stuff. And I put Matty as my one to watch in 2024. So I think we're doing all right so far.
And then I think you also did a writing camp together with some people as well.
Yeah. So we're just building, you know. This is just a start. Obviously, you know, Matty's going to be doing stuff on other strategic labels like Hannah Lang's label and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Matty's the future basically. So
how would you say that artists should approach breaking through right now? Is that the way that you just have to put out music and so people can discover you, or the story that we talked about with doing bootlegs, or what is the best way?
To me, like the instant way is this bootleg route, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that that's the right answer. You know, there's no wrong or right answer.
For you, it was, I guess, getting played by all these artists. So
yeah, I feel that's the one that is attention grabbing. You know, like if you see Patrick Mason doing his thing
on the whistles,
like,
hey, what is this?
And it's just instant, you know, and it grabs you. So I feel like that bootleg route seems to be the most instant, but is it the right way? I don't know. You know, I still like listening to demos every Friday, which I do. You know, where people send me via email. So, and I pick up a lot of stuff that way, and obviously Armin signs them if he likes them as well. So you know, there's different ways. There's no wrong or right, I think.
Do you see any? Sorry for jumping off, leaving Matty on the side of ours. Do you see a lot of different music from different countries right now? Is it like certain vibes in certain countries? Because I feel, at least before COVID, that it was kind of everything was the same, and now it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I think obviously in the UK, especially, or UK and Ireland, should I say, there's a shift towards this nostalgic sound, which I think Matty's at the forefront, you know, and Shugs as well, and Ben Hemsley. I think there's definitely been a shift there. Other than that, I wouldn't say there's really too much different, in my opinion, from what's been happening in the last few years. But it does feel like a lot of people, UK-wise, have kind of shifted a little bit, which is nice, you know, because I think it's freshening up what, in my opinion, the uplifting trance sound or scene needed anyway. So just to mix it up a bit, and I think it's good.
For you, Matty, what is the most important thing about having a relationship with an A&R that you're experiencing right now?
Oh yeah, it's been one of the most positive experiences in my life, honestly. Like just that having that open communication to give someone your music and then for them to believe in your music. What
did you think when you got the DM from James?
I was a bit taken back at the time. I was like, it's just, I actually had to go on his profile and go, Armada A&R, what's going on here? Like, I was like, and then
you're like, who's this man?
Especially at the time that I had not it was not long after I'd quit my job and all.
Yeah.
So I felt it came at the right time and all. Like these three things mean the world to you whenever you've quit your job and you see wee bits of progress like that. And so
it's like the universe talking to you.
Yeah, it's like it
through DM.
It's basically you're doing the right thing. Here, stay on track. Like you've got Armada A&R reaching out to you. Just keep on doing what you're doing. And good things will happen. That's
amazing, man. That's a good story, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. So, Dreaming came out, Theodora came out, of course, Balearic Feelings. So, what's your fascination with Ibiza?
Well, I went on holiday there for the first time in 2015, and look, I know we all get Ibiza blues, but I got hit with them hard that summer, and I've been on holiday a load of times to Ibiza, and then in 2019, I was like, just do a season, get it out of your mind, so you don't have to ever go back again.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. Had a great time. But there's there's Vedra. There's just something
it's a magical rock.
I'm just waiting for someone to pull a paint away. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, are you real? But it's just I don't know, just so inspiring to look at. And then obviously, I love that late 90s, early 2000s sound of trance, and I wanted to make some trance again, and I was like, well, why not make something from that era and just combined loads of inspirations together, like Chicane and KC, Paul van Dyk, just took what I loved from all them sounds and put them into one track to what I had seen fit to be a modern Balearic track.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So Theodora is out, of course. James, what else are you planning with Matty?
Yeah, more singles, more music. I think there's some IDs in his ASOP mix, which will be upcoming. Hopefully, some collaborations as well with key players like we've aforementioned some of the artists. I think Matty can traverse that traditional trance scene as well as the kind of new hard techno, hard trance vibe. So yeah, hopefully some key collaborations to real kind of elevate and get to the next level, really. That's the plan.
All right, well, you keep me posted as well, James, on everything. Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Let's dive into some of the questions that came in. JJ Cole wants to know if you're working on an album already, and now you have an EP coming out. That next step is an album. Is that something that you look forward to in the future? Or
def in the future. It feels a bit too early now, but yeah, def in the future, because it'd be a nice legacy to leave behind.
Yeah. Something to tour with and something like that.
Yeah.
Dylan Harsard wants to know if has any Northern Ireland DJs inspired you to get where you are right now?
Well, and there's loads. There's so many brilliant legends out of Northern Ireland. Like Fergie was an absolute machine back in the day. And
still is.
Yeah, still is. Yeah, but
I always love. We have to wait. Whenever someone mentions Fergie's, I have to do this. Wait. There.
Hi, how's it going? This is Fergie. You're checking out my new track on A State of Trance.
I love his accent. Hi, this is Fergie. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah, the country's full of just unbelievable DJs, always has been. And
the funny thing is that people always ask me when in the interviews, why are there so many DJs out of the Netherlands? I'm like, well, I don't know. You tell me, but it's the same for Northern Ireland. There's so many big artists out of such a small country.
It's just in our culture and DNA, I think. Yeah. People, Irish people and Northern Ireland, to be fair, they've just always loved clubbing. Always loved it since the 80s, 90s, and it's just been ingrained in our DNA. We just love it.
Just party hard.
It's just
but also taking that and talent and making music and to put it out.
Yeah, so it's like what I mentioned earlier. I guess some people just get curious a bit and think what's it like to be on the other side.
Yeah,
and that's what happened to me.
And it's also always great to see so many Northern Irish and also Irish people at the State of Trance with flags and
you'll see
Irish Trance family.
Yeah, it's great. You'll always see even Republic of Ireland flags and Northern Ireland flags all beside each other. Just
that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, just at one, having a great time. Like, you know what I mean? Don't get divided. Just enjoy the music and have a good time.
Amen. I think we should just keep it at that.
Yeah.
That's a good ending to this podcast. Thank you so much for answering all these questions and for talking with me. Also, shout out to Shugs sitting here and James, of course. Make sure to follow Matty on his journey. What's your socials?
Matty Ralph on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook.
All right. Thank you so much once again.
No
I hope to see you next time for a new podcast. Ciao.
Thank you for tuning in. Check all previous episodes on YouTube or your favorite podcast portal.